My name is Jake Crumweedy. I'm the executive director here. You guys have met Aaron Turner. He's our director of operations. And this is Ryan Allen. He's our creative director. Basically, everything that you're going to see, it's kind of coming from these guys. So what we want to show you today is a museum that's being born, I guess. So we're in the development stage right now. We are fundraising for the basically the interior build out. So we are, it's a $36 million project. So we are currently raising the funds for that. We have $18 million match from the state of Oklahoma, and we're raising the other 18 ourselves. We are making pretty good progress there. We're about, assuming the governor signs the bill that we just got through this legislature, we'll be at about 14.8 million towards our goal. So good news there. So anyway, to answer your question, once we get to the point that we have reached that our campaign goal, we will start the process of actually the formal design process, contracting, construction, everything. So that will take at least 24 months, I would say. So we're still looking at 2027, 2028 before we are an open functioning museum. But that's good because in the meantime, there's a lot of work we still need to do. So we're a museum that is telling a lot of different kinds of stories.
Can we maybe start down
Let's
here?
start here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, pop culture, it's such a big, broad term, right? Really what this museum is doing is telling the stories of like the creative industries, okay? So film, television, music, comics, literature, just a lot of different kinds of things. And there are Oklahomans behind a lot of these industries. And so what we do is, yes, we're telling the story of these creative industries, but also the Oklahomans behind it. So this is a little bit of a niche museum in the sense that we are focusing specifically on Oklahoma stories, but those larger kind of macro level stories of the creative industries, all these different IPs, etc. So there's a lot that we're doing here, even though it is kind of niche.
And obviously we've got to talk about some of these names on the walls, but we really use the word creative industries very intentionally for us, the folks behind the scenes, making the things in these industries, the producers, the engineers, the writers, the gaffers, you name it. These are all just as important stories for us as the folks in front of the screen and on stage. Because ultimately what we're trying to do is we're telling stories here, trying to do it in a fun way, but really inspiring, empowering our visitors to be creative. So the unofficial tagline is, they did it, so can you. That's really what we're about here at OKPOP.
Yeah, all of these people came from, somewhere in Oklahoma. Maybe it's some small town, some rural community, and they found their way to Nashville, Hollywood, New York, whatever the case may be. To Ryan's point, they found a way to use their creativity, and they found a way, to make it in these industries. You can do that too. And so we want to make that connection with our visitors. Every kid that walks in from some small town in Oklahoma, we want to be able to show that creative journey. So to that point, as Ryan was saying, it's the people behind the camera are just as important as people in front of the camera. And so there's a lot of stories that we're telling.
And we've been collecting oral history video interviews. We've got over 1,000 to date Oklahoma creatives telling their stories. That's serving the foundation of the experience that we're designing. That's a big part of our current efforts is every week. We are continuing to do these interviews with Oklahoma creatives themselves. We think it's way more inspiring to hear directly from the creatives, their highs and lows, how they did it, rather than, us from behind a desk, Again, we're trying to inspire and empower folks to be creative. And it's just, we think it's more impactful to hear directly from the creatives themselves. And we're utilizing technology in some creative ways to help us tell these stories that we'll tell you about here in a minute. You all especially might be interested in.
Yeah, so for the simple fact that we are telling a lot of stories over a lot of different industries, and the fact that we are not just writing panels that you put on a wall and read. We're actually interviewing a lot of these people, the creatives themselves, their families. It's really kind of building a museum on hard mode. Like there's a lot of legwork going into literally every part of what we're doing. So it's a lot of people, a lot of stories that we're trying to tell, which means a lot of collections that we're trying to track down, interviews that we're trying to conduct with all of these people. It's a lot of work to get. So like when I said, thankfully it's going to be a couple of years before we're open. We'll need every minute of time to get all the stuff done that we really need to get done.
And we're never running out of stories. Right. Literally every week we're finding new stories. We've created this database of Oklahoma creatives that's helping our curatorial research efforts and our technology piece. We're adding to it every week as we find folks.
What is the connection of Harry Potter?
Yeah, we will tell you that as we walk.
Yeah, good.
Producer, basically. Again, we're these creative industries, the folks behind the scenes, how we're telling their stories is, in our exhibits, we're really tying them to those intellectual properties as sort of an entry point. So E.T. is not an Okie, but the editor, Kara Littleton, is from Miami, Oklahoma.
Okay.
So that's how we're connecting.
So the editor is from Oklahoma.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Somebody connected with Harry Potter.
Yeah, one of the producers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's never ending. But we'll do a light tour. We'll walk pretty quickly. We'll talk even faster. If you have questions along the way, just because I want to be sensitive to your time, ask them. No questions off the books here, and we'll kind of walk and talk on 60,000 square feet, 3 floors.
Wow.
And then we'll end in the vault, which is the real stuff, and show you some historic tapes and recordings.
One of the things to know too is that we're part of the Oklahoma Historical Society, so we're just a division of a much larger statewide agency that actually predates statehood in Oklahoma.
Well,
So collecting those interviews, basically oral histories, it's what the agency has been doing for a long time. So it's not just for the sake of the exhibits that we're doing, but it's recording and preserving history as we go.
yeah, that's great.
What we're standing in right now is going to be the gift shop, so the pop shop we call
Yeah.
it. Obviously with pop culture, there's a lot of merchandising opportunities that go along with that. It's a great way to take the museum home with you. Everything on this first floor is kind of meant to be a hook to the visitor. It's kind of it's meant to pull people in. Kane's Ballroom, if you're not familiar with what Kane's Ballroom is, it's a music venue that's been around since 1924. So it celebrated centennial just last year. It's a place where Bob Wills, kind of the king of Western swing, got not his start necessarily, but it's where he kind of launched his career to being kind of a household name in the industry.
We broadcasted from KVO on the stage there almost every night of the week, 1934, for almost a decade, coast to coast. Really built his empire of listeners from Kane's. We have the Bob Wills Estate Collection. We'll show you a little bit in the vault.
Great.
Part of that is his 1947 flexible tour bus that will live on this platform here.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
the
it's
first
coming.
thing you see when you leave Kane's is Bob's bus. We'll have a large radio tower here to tell our broadcast stories. KVO is a big part of that. Other radio, television, Okie stories, Paul Harvey from Tulsa, some others.
Where's the bus now?
Off-site, we actually have 2. The original is a rust bucket we found in Texas that needs a lot of love. And then we have a replica that will be drivable as a mobile museum around the state.
Good.
So that'll be up very soon, actually.
Right.
This will be a welcome station, a counter screen, ideally smiling, warm humans, welcoming folks in. So a big part of the experience that we are cooking up is our visitors will have the opportunity to wear a pop watch, which is an Apple Watch, that we will give them, and hopefully they'll give back before they leave. The idea is a visitor will input, when you get your ticket, you'll set up an account and you'll input your interests, with what you're interested in. The watch will help guide you to find those stories in the exhibits, because we're telling hundreds and hundreds of stories rather than 20. These interviews that we collect are an hour to 4 hours long, typically, of these creatives. We can't show all of that. We'll show little slivers, and that is if you find an artist you're interested in with your watch, you can boop and save that to your account, access a longer version of the interview, access more digitized archival material, so you can take the museum home with you, do those deep dives at home. We're sort of creating an Okie Wiki in a lot of ways with our content and archival material that we want to make available to those folks after they purchase a ticket, and do those deep dives at home again. Lots of opportunities to be creative. It's all about creativity here. On our music floor, you get to make your own song. That all gets done through your watch, saved to your account. Lastly, the creator of Dick Tracy, Chester Gould, is from Pawnee, Oklahoma, just up the road. If you're familiar with Dick Tracy, he had a two-way wristband communicator. We like the idea everyone gets their own Dick Tracy watch, essentially.
Yeah.
And so the Pop watch is really core into how we're telling so many stories. It'll know what stories you got last time, so your new visit, you'll get new stories based on your interests. So it's sort of a smart, customized experience. Guide.
There, on the second
Whatever
floor.
it needs to be, storytelling experience for school groups, or someone wants to get married on a Star Wars planet, we can make that happen. Whatever you want, we can make happen there. It's unfinished, and so there's a large acoustic treatment that needs to happen. Long reverb in there. If you're sensitive, just 8.5 second delay, just pre-warning you. A little hard to talk in there. You're welcome to go in, take photos, and then we'll meet you out here for the exhibits. We will. We've had some singers in here.
Remind me what that is. Somebody told me that on the video. What's that from?
Yeah, that is from Home Alone 2. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, this is a great
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
That's from Home Alone 2. Yeah.
Great, another great video game downtown. Can't believe it.
It's Kane's Ballroom.
There'll be a pocket door for
Music. The second floor here focuses basically on everything else, which is a lot. But so the way that we're organizing it here on this floor is breaking everything up by genre instead of just like television section, film section. So that way we have in those genre specific areas, you can tell all the stories that fit within that genre, from film and television, comics. They can all go in the Western section or whatever. So all of these spaces are these immersive genre-based exhibit areas. We say exhibits because that's what museums are, but really it's more about an experience. We really want it to be hands-on, we want it to be functional, we want it to be something that you interact with, not something that you just walk around the genre-based exhibits. Up here, we didn't want to organize music by genre. We don't want people running to the country and music, country and Western section if they're into that thing and skipping all of the other stories. We really want to be story focused instead of just whatever genre you're into. So doing it a little bit differently. So we'll organize it a little bit differently. Around the perimeter, we're instead following the musician's creative process and their journey as an artist. And this floor is called Musician's Journey. So.
Yeah, in the large section here, there'll be the majority of our collections are artifacts. And there'll be 7 different story buckets from songwriters, bands and groups, entertainers, change makers, a handful of others. We're grouping about 100 stories in rather than genre. And then to Jay's point, there are 7 sub-galleries along the edge, and these are the moments of a musician's journey, from moments of inspiration when they first had that light bulb moment, to a basement, learning the craft work of your first instrument, forming your first band, a tour bus for family-friendly tour stories, merchandise branding lab, you can design your own band poster, and then an on-stage experience. So out of these hundreds and hundreds of interviews we have of musicians, many of which are no longer with us, and despite their genre, we're asking them the same questions about the first time they decided to go down that musical journey, their path, their first instrument, So these along the edge will constantly be changing based on those topics, right? And then with your watch, you'll create a base of a song through looping technologies. And as you go through that musical journey, you'll be able to add to it and create your own song of your own by the end of it. About 30, 45 seconds.
This is going to be a fully functioning recording studio.
For the state archive in the space there as well. And we've got, which we'll show you here in a second, thousands and thousands of historic tapes, audio and video that we
Now
have
we're going to go in the
digitized.
archives.
And there are other parts that happen here.
Yeah.
I've heard Chris Applin is presenting with me. He's working with the Port Civil Counties, and they actually have some Port Civil Counties.
So we're standing in here. This is the kind of our staging area. We get the collections in. This is where we process them. Our collection staff will be here in this space as well. So workspace is primarily what this is. So we mentioned we're part of the Oklahoma Historical Society. So you know, we are one site among many. Kind of the home base is back in Oklahoma City. A couple of acres worth of storage for audio recordings to collection artifacts, all sorts of things. So what we have here is a small sample of what will be here at OKPOP. These are some of the highlights. These are some of the cool things that we like or that we've acquired recently. So there are more things than just this, but like I said, some of our favorite things are here. So I know you guys are audio people, but we'll start with the some of the cool objects that we just think are cool, and then we'll move ahead to the other stuff.
That's from Watchmen.
Yeah, it is. Good eye.
I'm from Warner.
Okay. We've got a whole, like, 4 bays, almost 2 shelves worth
Who's
of.
Nelly though? Was it?
Was that Gene Autry's Sidekick's car?
Yeah, I think so. It's either or Hopalong Cassidy.
Gabby Hayes was
But so
Yeah.
it's kind of a wide collection full of a lot of different topics, genres, different things. So there's, I mean, we've got, for example, you're welcome to take a look if you'd like. This is Bob Will's fiddle and his boots. His hat's right up there actually too. So you know, it's something that's obviously it's a big deal. It's like, you know, his personal fiddle. You can see the love and the wear and the, you know, everything that's on it. It's what makes objects so cool. Is they a couple of members of the band were from Oklahoma, Norby Edwards. But this model, the Ventures model guitar, it was a designed by the Mosrite Guitar Company, and Mosrite guitars were the founder, Semi Mosley, was from Oklahoma too. So it's a guitar designed by an Oklahoman for an Oklahoman. So
It's
it's
Perfidium Medley. Is it that the name of the guitar?
no, this was a set list. Yeah, so
Yeah, that was one of their hits.
yeah, so like, you know, Apache, Walk Don't Run. They did the theme song to Hawaii 5-0. That was
Right.
them. So yeah.
This one was really good. Who is this?
That's that would be Leon McAuliffe. He was a steel guitar player for Bob
Yeah.
Wills, his own band leader too. But that's his
Rabbit holes.
yeah. He actually
Are you the first
if I were to take it down underbelly, he basically routed out.
I'm recording here. Go ahead.
So that's these are 2 of Leon Russell's Stevens 40-track machines.
Oh,
There's only like 3 or 4 in the world still working.
and they're not at the studio, huh?
No, they're ours.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to see Leon twice. It was good.
Cognac sticker on.
The videotapes, a lot of this mostly is Leon Russell's music archive, and he recorded everything, kind of for better or for worse. But most of this has not been heard by the general public, and so we're working with the estate and some other partners to hopefully give these a new life, and maybe someone in this room that can
Who's
help
Pat?
us.
Who's Patty?
And it's more than just Leon.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been
We got
the one
Bob
sort of
Wills.
dealing with inventory management at the moment since we don't have a collections manager. My guess is we have somewhere in the vicinity of 2,500 separate audio recordings that span, mostly Leon Russell. There's about 1,800 Leon Russell, and then there's probably another couple hundred of things like Steve Lewis or Bob Wills or I haven't gone through yet. So it's a variety of formats that's sort of on board. It's anywhere from consumer format cassette record to 4-inch up to 40-track.
So these sessions here, again, these are sessions Leon produced. Her recording, we got J.J. Gale, Willie Nelson, Eric Clapton, Tom Petty, Gatman. On the right here are two Beatles jamming together. Oh, amazing. So Ernie Fields is the Okie on that one. And,
Oh, okay.
Tulsa. Yeah, Lowell Folsom.
In the mood, right?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
I guess you never get to see this whole wall at once.
Yeah.
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 Is it his daughter who's the show the book about him?
Who?
Lowell? Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Norman.
yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we're giving an award to
Oh, awesome. Yeah, she's a friend. So we've got an Ernie Fields collection here, senior and junior. She's certainly a friend of the project.
And that is
Good
supposed
question.
to. Okay.
Yeah. Mary Blair, if y'all found recording, that's one of my favorite stories. She's a Disney animator.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm sorry. What are we showing?
Mary Blair was a Disney female Imagineer, concept artist, colorist from McAllister. Did the It's a Small World ride, and pretty great story. That's Harry Potter's wand from the third film. Yeah. So I knew that Harry Potter fans. Yeah. Those are actually big on those boots over there.
Wow.
I know the feeling. Solve problems. And it would probably cause new problems.
Yeah. I saw Scuba Dooba with, what the hell is it? Who the hell is the guy? Morgan Freeman in Philadelphia before it went to Broadway.
Yeah, these are materials from those three all-black Western films. They utilize the cast of the Boley and Taft and some other all-black towns. Bill Pickett was in 2 of the films, so pretty interesting early cinema history.
Wow. Okay, so what's the New Yorker poster for?
That's a good question too.
Steinberg didn't come from here.
No, he didn't.
You have 2 quick change posters I saw.
Yeah, the writer of that, Jay Cromley, was in that one.
okay.
There's some of that Bob Wills album in there.
Yeah, these are pretty new as far as they became. Yeah, we have a website, and certainly when we do the launch, it'll be more robust. You'll be able to access a lot of access everywhere.
It looks like this is.
Yeah. It's a little, it's kind of strange because it's a little bit. Yeah. What's the part?